Infusion Realtors, Community First National Bank Open. Championship match coming up. Nick Pate, our top seed. He led by over 100 pins. Taking on Kenny Calkins the third. He's been winning matches like crazy. He's earned his way to take on Nick Pate. I'm Mike Flanagan from InsideBowling.com. Joined alongside with 2013 champion of this event, Jason Poli. Jason, we're in for what I would say a pretty unique match here with a guy who's been sitting for a long time and a guy who's red hot coming off of winning 3 matches in a row.
And we're going to see 2 completely angles here.
Kenny Calkins the third playing out, opens up with a strike. Nick Pate's been watching, though. He joined us in the booth for quite a long time before you took over in the last match, and now this match joining me. I appreciate that. Fusion Realtors and Community First National Bank, the co-title sponsors of this event. Without their support, this would not be possible, and this coverage would not be able to be brought to you here on YouTube on our InsideBowling.com channel. So here's our first look at Nick Pate for the first time in about 4 hours. Pate is playing the extreme inside part of the lane, similar to what we saw from Mitch Hupay in the last match. Your thoughts on that, Jason?
I mean, my thoughts, it's hard to argue with. I mean, obviously he led the field by 100, but the lanes are, you know, they've been sitting. They're super chopped, and I mean, he's going to have to throw amazing shots to win this match, in my opinion.
It's the 13th edition of the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open, and many of the sponsors have been on board since day one, and I'll go through them now. Ebonite, makers of the Verdict Pearl and the Game Breaker 3. Consider Ebonite on your next bowling ball purchase. The Waterloo Convention and Visitors Bureau, Budweiser, the Kingpin Grill, Logo Infusion, CFNB Mortgage, and the Isle Hotel and Casino. Thank you for your support of this event. So Nick comes in light back-to-back to start this championship match.
And here's the problem. I mean, even if he tries to go to, you know, something that starts up earlier, it's gonna hook, you know, 2-3 feet sooner, and then it's gonna force his angles even, you know, to be bigger, and he might get to the pocket, but it's gonna flat 10.
He's hooking it at the bucket. Oh, wow.
You know, and Kenny's going to be using a part of the lane that's still pretty fresh. I mean, the only thing that's really been out there is, you know, a couple guys throwing reactive, but a lot of urethane, so it's pretty chopped up in the front. But as you can see, as we've seen, Kenny's taking the fronts out of play, so I don't think that's a factor.
If you've been watching this tournament for the last few years when we live streamed it, you would normally see us at Maple Lanes. This year, the second time out of the 13 times this event has been hosted, we are at Cadillac XBC Bowling Center. Same owners.
Looks like he chose he's choosing a different route on that right lane. Different ball, different part of the lane. I'm actually surprised.
I like it when the bowlers match their bowling ball to their apparel, and he's done a nice job with that today. So Nick Pate's got to be feeling pretty good right now with going 6 spare, 6 spare, and only being down by 4 in the match.
Oh, I'd be thrilled. I'd be giggling.
Get a little bit of a tickle going there. First place in this event is worth $2,800, plus there's a $710 bet you win pot, and both guys are in. Runner-up will receive $2,100 here. Had a field of about 170 entries this weekend here in Waterloo.
For me, right there was the most consistent ball reaction I had all weekend. Is from the extreme out.
And I talked to Nick when we were up here discussing what his strategy was going to be, and he told me that he wanted to play in. And I said, you're not going to play like out, like up 10? And he said, no, I like my look from in. So he did say he was probably going to use this ball. He used a ripped, which is an HP ball, and this is a mid-price ball. So if he goes light again, I would, oh my. He did not go light. He left a bone 8.
No, he absolutely aced it, and he got 9. You know, that's. But if he keeps throwing them there, it's gonna be a tight match.
It's a good-looking shot right there. Nick Pate, after 12 games of qualifying, was plus 387. Closest to him was Mitch Hupay at 283 over. Remember, Calkins qualified as the number 4 seed at 229 over coming in.
Yeah, I bowled next to Nick yesterday, and it was pretty amazing watching him be able to, you know, play 22 to 10.
Yeah.
You know, and super soft hand, just letting it read the mid and roll when everyone else, his ball was either hooking early or not at all. That was an amazing shot.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nick coming back and making those 2 shots after what he did in the first and the second frame just proves that he knew his strategy. He's committed, yes, absolutely. And now it's game on.
Yeah, it looks like he just firmed up and closed his angles down a little bit.
Scott Merritt in the chat says, you can lead by 1,000 pins. It doesn't matter in a 1-game match, and you are absolutely right. You want to know what balls they're using? I believe Kenny Calkins the third is using a Storm Intense, and I know that Nick Pate is using a Ultra Heat.
Yeah, Kenny's playing 15 with the Intense in the right lane, and he's playing 5 with the Sherlock on the left.
I'm confused with the scores.
I think those Z's are strikes. That's all right. That was in. That's actually a pretty good break. Canadian scoring.
Okay. Okay, so we were told that the Z's are part of the Canadian scoring system, and for whatever reason, over on the pair that we were displaying scoreboards, it is in Canadian format. So if you see Z's on the screen, those are also known as strikes, not sleeping pills.
Hope we're not putting people to sleep. I mean, I was told I sound like a bad Joe Buck, so maybe I am putting people to sleep. I mean, I'd be sleeping too.
All right, so that is a strike up in the fourth for Pate. So got a chance to close it to 4.
That's good.
That's really good. I'm going to replay that one. It was so good. Let's take a look at Nick Pate. Down and through the shot. Steps out of it just a little bit. Wanted it. And that's the closest thing he's got to showing emotion.
That's way more than Dave Bears has. And that guy strikes a lot. Couldn't tell, though. I'm out there hammer fisting him.
Strike here will give him a 6-pin lead in the match.
That's close. Must have grabbed it a pinch.
Duck hooked off the end of the pattern, 4, 6, 7, and it's right back.
That was
the lead is Kenny Calkins.
That was the same line as he threw over there last time. He must have just either didn't get through it or grabbed it.
So with the open, Pate can strike out for 230. Calkins has a max score of 259 if he were to go off the sheet.
A little tickle me Elmo there.
Yeah, let's take a look at it again. Looks good off his hand. Puts it right in the area where he wanted to. Puts it in the 1-3. The light hit in this bowling center I've noticed this weekend has been pretty rewarding.
Hard to leave 10 pins hitting him there.
Looks pretty good. Comes in high for the 4-pin. So no player able to take control of the match, but keeping around the pocket, staying out of trouble.
So Kenny has 19 pin lead.
Yeah, you can max out for 239. Nick Pate can max out for 230. But currently right now, yes, 19 pin lead. Last time Nick was on this lane, it looked just like that. Time before that was a blower 8-pin. Hey, this is a great opportunity too, everybody. We're really proud of something we just started at InsideBowling.com. We've got a merch shop now. That's our crowdfunding source now with this channel. We want to eventually get to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. In order to do that, we know that we have to produce better pieces of content, and we want to go at it full bore. So if you enjoy and you like to support this channel and watch the coverage that we do, head on over to our website and take a look. We'll be adding new things to the store, not only t-shirts but other things, and you can save 15% by watching this broadcast by putting in the coupon code YouTube. There you go, Nick.
I mean, since we're at it and we're putting plugs in, we might as well give a shout out to Bowlers Connection, Jason Guest, Brian Bowers, for drilling a lot of these guys' equipment. They do amazing work. Have been doing it for years. Best in the business.
Yeah, Brian Bowers. Hopefully you can make it out and come to the next one, because the last time you were talking a little bit of smack there, we had a little house ball throwdown afterwards, and we remember how that went. So I know you want a rematch, and I'm looking forward to having a fun match with you again in the future.
Maybe September.
Maybe September. That'll be the next Fusion. And that just got a lot worse.
Yeah, that's the 1-8.
What do you think happened there? Just missed it a little bit, or too far to the right?
No, I think he got quick at the bottom. And, you know, pull from the top a little bit. And you got two options. When that happens, you're either going to pull it left or you're going to pitch it right.
This is important to cover this spare. That will keep it a 3-pin match. Huge spare.
Wow.
That was impressive. That could have been chopped so many different ways.
Yeah, I like this, that he went to the smoother ball for that spare. Took the lane out of play and just threw right at the head pin.
So through 8 frames, if both players were to strike out, it would be 227 for Kenny Calkins III, and it would be 230 for Nick Pate.
Looks like he's moving.
Loft. I saw loft and speed there.
Yeah, he made a big jump. Went back. He went to the 10th on the left lane. Tried to match him up. And I'm not sure if he tried to loft that one, but it definitely pushed more than he wanted.
So for Nick Pate, he's going to be able to go up in the 9th and 10th frame and determine his destiny. He can take control and take the title.
Absolutely.
After that last spare conversion for Calkins, it's very important for him to go up and pick this. Whew. Saw it hook a little bit off the end of the batter.
That's a tough spare.
Oh, man. So a possible 215 now for Kenny Calkins III. Nick Pate still bowl 230. Working on a double going into the 9th frame. Interesting to see how long it takes for Nick to compose himself and get ready to throw this shot.
Yeah, this is where nerves definitely start to kick in. That's actually really good.
Nice shot, Nick. Very nice shot. Let's take a look at that one one more time.
I mean, he really waited on that one.
Stayed down and threw it. Gave it the left leg kick. I'm going to have to try that next time I go bowling.
That's a fun one.
And now Nick taking a re-rack on the left lane.
I think I dream about moves, like when I know I just peer off my hand what move, you know, it's just like, what's going to happen? And it just happens. You don't even know what's going to happen. Could be a right hook, could be a left kick, could be a little elbow.
Could it be a body blow, knock him out.
Yeah.
Put in the code and get straight to Tyson.
Uppercut, uppercut.
Body blow, body blow. All right, 10th frame coming up.
That's good too.
There you go, Nick Pate showing up in the 10th frame. Coming back from 6 spare to start the match and a blower 8-pin. And a big nasty split in the middle of the game. He's able to put together a 4-bagger.
Just needs count, right?
Yep, just needs count. First shot in the 10th was the clincher. Just needs count. The big shot's already out of the way. And he trips the 4-pin forward, and Nick Pate, as he told me in the booth, and he sat in here, he said, I'm going to be able to pay off some college loans. He's going to take home $3,510, including the Bet You Win pot. But, hey, you got to hand it to Kenny Calkins III. He bowled awesome. He bowled awesome. He's going to take home $2,100.
They both bowled outstanding. Everyone that made the finals bowled outstanding, you know. It's a lot of work to be out here bowling on this and making good shots constantly. You know, you can't, there's no breaks. You have to throw good every frame.
Nick Pate got his PBA card, and he's going to go out and give the PBA a try this upcoming year. This is going to be some nice.
Yeah, wish him the best. You know, it's tough go out there. But he throws it well.
Nice confidence booster.
Yeah. That's. I mean, you got to be out here winning these tournaments to even think about going out there. That's. I mean, because if you can't beat these guys, then it's going to be hard to beat the best in the world.
Absolutely, Jason Poli. I want to thank you for joining me in the booth.
Well, I thank you for having me.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure. The last 2 matches. Thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next broadcast. But I'm going to step away for just a moment. When I come back, I'm going to sit down and talk with Nick Pate and talk to him a little about this big win. All right, I'm joined by tournament champion Nick Pate, led by over 100 pins. You sat in the booth with me. You had a long time to wait. That match started out a little bit tricky. I was a little worried about your look. Take us through the match.
Well, sitting up here in the booth for those 2 hours made my hand really cold, which is fine, but it took like 10 warm-up shots to actually get feet under me. Threw those first 2 shots probably as poor as I could, and I'm glad I left them makeable, and then I settled in. I'm not really good at 3-stepping, so that's why I went with that shortened approach and just try to throw it as great as I could on that right lane. That was my problem lane in practice.
Yeah, the 8-pin that you left, I was like, oh, man, he figured it out, but he left the 8-pin. What were you thinking at that point?
I was like, I really hope it comes back because he tripped the 4 with the prior shot, and I started, and I'm just like, I hope it evens out, but it did. I threw some good shots.
Yeah, it's got to feel good to win this thing. You've been bowling it a few times. You made a step ladder one other time. We laugh about the things that I said about you back then when I didn't know you. We've become friends, and now to see you be able to do this with joining the PBA and going out and doing that full time this year, and you have an event coming up, starting on Tuesday.
Yep.
How does this help you propel forward for this upcoming year?
This is one of the top Midwest tournaments, and the competition level is extremely high, and they're talented people. So this just gave me a little warm-up for what I'm going to expect out on tour. And they're obviously better on tour than out here, but this is a good warm-up.
Yeah, absolutely. Demanding lane condition. We wish you luck next week. I know you have a lot of people to thank, including your father, who just made it out and hauled butt to get here.
I was going to be so mad if I had lost and when he showed up. He hadn't been here all weekend. I do want to say thanks to Columbia 300, Parallel Effects, and Turbo Grips. Without them, this wouldn't have been possible. So thank you to them.
And I know you've had a lot of friends watching you as well, your friends Aaron McCarthy and the rest of the crew that you run around with, that you've been weekend warriors with for a long time. I know it would have been cool to have some of them here, but just didn't match up this weekend. So, Nick, it was a pleasure having you come by, man. Thanks for helping me in the booth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks
Anytime.
for being a friend to me, and I'm glad it paid off. I know that you haven't been in a slump, but you just haven't had that breakthrough recently, and this can really build that confidence. So.
I hope it starts something.
All right. Thanks, Nick. That's going to do it for here from Waterloo, Iowa. We are finishing up the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. We'll be back in September to bring you the next one. You can join us on our next broadcast in March. We'll be at the Southland Bowling League. For everybody that joined me in the booth, for Joe Inglicus, his entire crew that runs the tournament, they do a great job. The folks here at Cadillac Lanes XBC, we're looking forward to future events here as well. Don't forget to check out the merchandise on InsideBowling.com. You can save 15% with coupon code YouTube. And don't forget you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody, this weekend, and we'll see you on the next one.